Hey everyone, before we get into this video, a massive thank you to everyone that has already supported our Ko-fi page. Our Ko-fi page is essentially a donation page in which you can help out with the running costs of TNC. Everything is listed over there about what the money will be going towards. In return, we'll invite you to a TNC Facebook group and we'll be doing loads of giveaways, and it's just a really nice community to be in. So thank you. Check out the link, top line of the description, and you can help out with TNC. Enjoy the video. Hey everyone, Jack here, TalkNorwichCity. I hope you guys are all doing fantastically well. Back for another video today. Thanks to everyone that tuned in for the TNC podcast live last night, dissecting that game against Burnley. It wasn't the best, but hopefully you enjoyed the podcast. Back today for a transfer video. Yes, we've made a transfer. Caught me a little by surprise, although this rumour has been kind of doing the rounds for a couple of weeks, but I think these transfers always catch you out slightly and they always get you, excited a little bit. I must admit, I've never watched Jacob Sorensen before. This is the chap who we've signed, but you get a little rush of adrenaline, don't you? And it also feels as if, although the Premier League campaign hasn't even finished yet, that the Championship campaign is just around the corner when you're starting to make these signings. So, Jacob Sorensen, let's have a look. Who is this fella? 22 years old, joining from Danish side Esbjerg FB for an undisclosed fee, and he will be eligible for selection from the beginning of the following season. He made 117 appearances for his hometown club, who play in the top flight of Danish football, and scored 8 goals in that time. And he's also secured call-ups to Denmark's under-18s, 20s and 21s. I think the most important thing out of all of this is the fact that he's a powerful midfielder. And we've said multiple times on the TNC podcast that we need to get a squad in place really quickly for the Championship season. One, because there's going to be chops and there's going to be changes, and I think there needs to be. And two, we need to get a squad in place that Daniel Farke's happy with. And three, there's going to be a really strange kind of mood around the club at the moment. You've got certain players who helped to get Norwich into the Premier League that maybe haven't been given the chance in the top flight that they maybe would have wanted to. I'm looking at the likes of Tom Tribal, Norwich Leitner, Mario Vrancic, Marco Stiepermann, all of them players being midfielders, and I would have thought that there'll be a few of them moving on, especially the likes of Tribal and Norwich Leitner, who seemingly just aren't in Daniel Farke's plans anymore. So it's important that we're bringing these players through in a time, in a period that gives them enough time to bed in. I mean, as I say, I haven't watched Jacob Sorensen, but the last time we picked a player out of the Danish league was Teemu Pukki. Like, we know that our scouts like scouting these divisions. I think, it's a hotbed of talent out there. And the fact that he's played Europa League football at the age of 22 years old and made nearly 120 appearances, senior appearances by the age of 22, is really, really impressive. So it adds to the list of signings that we've already made. You look at Melvin City, Daniel Sinani, Daniel Adted, Sam McCallum, all players who are young, who have played senior football before, and again fit into that Stuart Webber recruitment mould of having something to prove. You look at Andre Duda, Lucas Roop, Josip Dermic, Ralph Farman. They're the kind of signings that haven't worked this season. And the pattern that I've seen across them is they don't really have anything to prove anymore. Duda is going to be getting first team football when he returns to his parent club. Ralph Farman's best years are behind him. Josip Dermic's best years are behind him. And you sort of look at all of them players and go, they're not probably the mould that got us here. And the likes of Jacob Sorensen can hopefully help us go into the Championship and have a bit of vigour about us again, because we've so desperately lacked it this season. I think, although you can blame not scoring enough goals and Pukki's gone a bit cold in front of goal, Dermic hasn't been much help, Adam Ida, there's excitement around. We haven't scored goals, we haven't been able to keep goals out, although Max Aarons, Jamal Lewis and Ben Godfrey are all being touted with big money moves, and Tim Krul has been fantastic for the majority of the season. They're the two areas of the pitch that have picked up the most stick. It's the midfield that I don't think we've been able to really, pin down who our best two or our best three are. Kenny McLean has been in there quite a lot this season. I really like Kenny, but I don't think he's necessarily being played in his correct position. I love Marco Stiepermann and I wish he'd played more football this season, but clearly Farke didn't think that he was the man to help us in the Premier League. Mario Vrancic is wonderful on set pieces and has a great range of passing, but maybe doesn't have the legs. Tom Tribal is a great in a tackle and clearly a defensive midfielder, but maybe doesn't have the legs of the Premier League. And Moritz Leitner has had injury problems and, well, just hasn't fitted into the team. So the midfielders you were looking at to make a difference have not stepped up to the plate in whatever fashion that may be this season. So these are really crucial signings for Norwich City. The jury is out with Jacob Sorensen. I'm sure he will be in and around the starting 11 from the very beginning of next season, whenever that may be. And hopefully he hits the ground running. I can't really make too much of a judgment. The initial statistics and the voices I'm hearing who know more about Sorensen than me seem positive, and that's all I can really go off. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Jacob Sorensen. Are you excited? It's funny, isn't it, with football? We're very quick to forget, and I'm already seeing a lot of people really excited about Sorensen and their mood already seems to have been lifted. And all it takes in football is a few good signings and suddenly everyone's back on board. So hopefully Stuart Webber's nailed this one. It's crucial that he gets the recruitment right because it's been so poor this season. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Norwich City have signed Jacob Sorensen. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I'm hoping that we see a lot more of this man going forwards. Hit the subscribe button, hit like, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.